Hey everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, a JRPG news show, an anime news show, a niche news show, a show where Baku and I will talk about anything and everything that catches our interest. We stream live every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be previewing some previews. We'll be talking about some rumors. We'll be responding to voicemails and super chats at the end of the episode. Guys, it is good to see you. We have so much to talk about. I think I almost nailed that intro this time.
Almost.
Nearly
gave you
there.
that's like a almost out of 10.
Missed it by that much.
Just that much.
Oh, man, so close. But hey,
so close.
Baku, hey, let's address the elephant in the room. Not you this time, Baku. You're not the elephant, but the
I'm not the elephant.
Yeah, the fact that we did not stream, sadly, last week. What was up with that?
That's the elephant. Oh, I had to do my midterm.
Oh my gosh.
I had a midterm paper due.
Yeah, had to do your midterm paper on waifu studies. So the question is, what was this one about specifically? Was it about like the waifus of the Trails series, or and which one is life? Or I'm just curious.
We had to write about a case study on a specific waifu in a specific title, and apply our knowledge and create an argument of why this is the best waifu. And so it's easy to go like, yeah, well, I think Estelle is the greatest, but no, there are different structures, and you have to do your research, you have to cite your sources.
Yeah.
And in the APA style, which I have not used any kind of like style guide in writing anything for probably a decade and a half. So I was just like,
have ChatGPT make your works cited page.
You know, I would do that, but then there's also the in place citing that you have to do.
Oh, that
the in citation, in text citation that you have to do. So the end citation was easy. Like I just copy and paste my place, but like I had to make the right like citation inside the essay. That was a pain in the butt. Am I better than APA? Yeah, well, tell that to the professor. No citing is better than both of those. Just let me write whatever and just give me an A.
See, that's what makes you, master's material in my book.
Pain in the butt.
Yeah. I appreciate though that you let me know that we were gonna end up needing to push that episode back. Life always comes first. This is always nice to do, but when real stuff comes up, that's all right.
So I appreciate it, guys, and thank you for coming back to watch us. We're not dead.
Yes. So aside from your homework stuff, what were you up to last week? What have you been playing through? Anything in particular?
So I'm almost done with Like a Dragon Ishin. It's been a roller coaster, as you know now that you're playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. Now you get a sense of like what the Like a Dragon series is like. That sort of roller coaster also exists in Like a Dragon Ishin. So you know what we're talking about. So that game's been great. I'm almost done. I am going to do like a palette cleanser game for stream, and then we're gonna dive straight into 13 Sentinels right after that. It's gonna be pretty cool.
So for your palette cleanser, you thinking Trails from Zero, or
I like how your palette cleanser is a game longer than the main course I just had. Also, no.
Okay.
But maybe after 13 Sentinels.
I was gonna say you didn't answer the question. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, maybe after 13 Sentinels. But yeah, it's gonna be a short game. It's just gonna be one stream, which we'll actually talk about later because it's a relatively new game that slipped my radar.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it happens. I can't catch every single game, but
that's all right. You do a pretty good job of getting most of them, I'd say. By the way,
I try.
I ended up streaming. I'm still playing through Like a Dragon over on Twitch, but I ended up having to take off on Wednesday and Friday. Unfortunately, some family stuff kind of got in the way. So Yeah, but hey, we had a couple of additional streams this weekend where I was doing a little bit of extra work on some prop making. I've been working
Hmm.
on reproducing Olivier's orbital gun from the Trails in
Hmm.
the Sky series, and I'm not going to show it off right now, but man, it is looking good. It,
It looks amazing. You
I am
guys need to see this.
I am so
Whenever
excited.
Derek wants to show it off.
I might actually make a video about it, or at the
Oh,
very least, it might just show up in a video. I don't know. We'll see.
yeah, I saw it. I took a sneak peek. I'm sorry. It's partner perks, okay?
Yeah.
But it looks freaking amazing.
But
So,
anyways, we'll be back
yes.
to Like a Dragon on Monday.
Oh.
So looking forward to that. So um yeah, I guess that's pretty much everything for taking care of that little bit of homework, that house cleaning, house cleaning. So
House cleaning.
yeah, how about we
Yeah.
move on to some of the comments that we ended up getting from last week?
Yes, let's do that. All right, let's start with our friends Delicious Morsels, who said that PS logo hit Derek with the jump scare right before the Fatal Frame trailer was grade A podcasting. Also, props to you guys for having one of the better takes in the JRPG discourse. I watched Skill Up's video before all the articles started writing about it, so I had a better grasp of the context of it all and couldn't help but shake my head once the controversy started making the rounds on Twitter. Oh, jeez. That was the thing. I think you guys nailed Yoshi P's intent. And now I shall upvote my own comment because I was instructed to do so. Cheers.
Nailed it.
Yeah, if you guys made a post on the last week's podcast, make sure to go upvote yourself. Give yourself a pat in the back. Okay,
Yeah,
nothing weird about that.
absolutely not. We got another one here from Vexhart who said, something of note. I've been able to fairly accurately predict upcoming Square Enix projects by paying
Hey.
attention to the merchandise pre-orders. Front mission figures were up for pre-order months before the remasters were announced. Interestingly enough, there are now Xenogears figures up for pre-order. Possible remaster announcement incoming?
Mm, what
I
do we
mean,
think?
okay. Here's what I think. Uh-uh.
Mm.
Square Enix, I feel like they're just such a I don't know. Sometimes they strike me as being spiteful, in some ways. And and the way that, the creator, I can never remember his name. I feel so bad, of Xenogears, the way he left to work with Bandai Namco on Xenosaga and now is being super successful with the Gears. No,
Hmm.
Xeno Xenoblade.
Yes.
Got there
Yes.
eventually. Uh,
Yeah.
yep, the way that he's super successful there, like it would be beneficial for them to also, I guess, kind of do something with Xenogears, but I don't know. Like they barely touched Chrono Trigger in all of these
Mm.
years, uh,
Hmm.
for a very similar reason. I feel like they just don't like its connection to uh, oh s- oh man,
People who have like
yeah, who've been working for them and
crossed
left.
them somehow.
Yeah, Sakaguchi. That's the word I was looking for. Sakaguchi.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, well, okay, so they do have a kind of a remaster for Chrono Trigger, so there's that.
Kinda on PC, I
Kind
would say,
of, yeah, on PC. So
and
could they
DS
have something
ish.
similar for Xenogears? I think it's possible only because they have been doing remasters of games in that era.
Hmm.
So the time makes sense. Timing makes sense. Like
Sure.
starting to move up to PS2. What is this? Xenogears? What, PS1? Yeah, PS1. So like it's right around that time. I can see it. They've already done all the other games of that era, right? Like, well, not all of them, a lot of them. Like
Yeah.
Valkyrie profiles and all that. Someone actually came asking about this, and I think this should be their next like big focus if they're gonna do any kind of remaster remake, and that's Parasite Eve. Hands down,
Mm,
just I can't think of another game in their IP from around that era that would do well as Parasite Eve.
yeah.
Parasite Eve would be insane if they can do, and that's got to be a remake.
Hmm.
It couldn't be a remaster. It has to be a remake.
For sure.
Yeah, it's just the theme works for international audience,
Hmm.
right? It's easy to grasp, right? It already
Yeah.
has like a namesake. Uh, they just need to make the game. They don't even need to. They can have this as like a reboot for a brand new IP. You know.
Yeah. You know,
Uh,
one of the things that I read recently was a headline. I didn't read the whole article, but they said it was Square Enix saying the reason that they did a remaster of Chrono Cross was because they were afraid that it would soon no longer be able to be playable by people, um, which is an interesting take.
Mhm,
Because I wonder by what definition they meant by that. I should probably read the article or something, but
mhm.
by any definition that makes Chrono Cross unplayable, I would think that would equally apply to Xenogears or Parasite Eve. And as far as like its playability on like modern platforms, I think that's what they said.
Right.
It wouldn't be playable on
Yeah.
modern platforms. Um,
Yeah. And
so
so yeah, I look forward to seeing some of these games coming. Maybe we'll see like an Aya figure
yeah,
soon, and then
you know,
you can do some there.
besides that, there's
Mhm.
what other games have did Square Enix make or Square Soft make on the
Around
PlayStation
that
1
time.
that just has not been ported yet?
Tactics.
Tactics. Uh,
Oh,
that there are
yeah.
rumors.
I mean, yes, there are rumors, but it hasn't actually happened.
Yeah,
So
not yet.
I'm just putting it there
Uh,
because
then
it's not
there's
like a realized like
mhm,
thing.
Brave
Yeah,
Fencer
tactics.
Musashi. I think is one of them.
Brave Fencer. Yeah,
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 that
yeah.
should definitely make its way forward. I
Oh
think,
my god, I almost forgot that that's the thing.
but the list is
Uh,
shrinking. You know,
yes,
because like
yes,
Final
because they're
Fantasy
working on
7,
it.
8,
Mhm.
9, those are all on Switch.
Oh, those were like first to
Yeah,
get the
Legend of
remaster
Mana
treatment.
now.
Legend of Mana's been there. Chrono Cross, yeah, about the
Chrono
same
Cross.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Saga Frontier has been done.
Yeah.
Saga Frontier 2. There's Saga Frontier 2.
Okay.
They may or may not do that.
Sure.
Uh,
But like
I'm trying
the number, like we can think of
games.
more PS1 RPGs from Squaresoft that
Mhm,
have been ported recently than
mhm.
haven't, which is
Exactly,
pretty crazy.
which is what which is the trend I'm talking about. It's like they are
Oh,
known
Vagrant
to do
Story
this
has
now.
not yet been.
So Vagrant Story, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So there's a trend. Like they're doing stuff.
Hmm.
I mean, there's also like the Chocobo Mysterious Dungeon, if
Oh
that's
yeah, yeah,
ever going to be a thing in the
yeah.
West.
Probably the
Uh,
Taloon's Dragon Quest story on
yeah.
PS1, but that was Enix though, so I don't know if that
Yeah.
one.
And I mean, even some games in the Super Nintendo era is still being considered.
Mhm.
I'd say like don't look at them as like a per console generation. It's like per like actual people generation.
Yeah.
So like Super Nintendo, PS1, PS2, like that like maybe 15 years of 15 years? Is it fair to say 15 years?
Only
That like
15?
15 years range, I think, for
Well,
three
yeah, maybe.
consoles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Sure.
Like 5 years each, like let's say 15 years worth of like range. Like I mean, don't quote me on exact time, but that generation of people, I think that's what they're trying to target towards.
You're probably right.
Yeah. So
Anyways,
we'll see more PS2 games coming. I guarantee.
I like the as far as the comment goes from Vexhard, I like the idea and I think it'd be pretty cool if they
Yeah.
could get Tetsuya Takahashi in on board, the director who I couldn't remember his name before earlier. Thank you, chat. If they could get him on board and not just remaster or remake, but just finish the original game, I would be so happy. I would be very, very pleased. Could you
Man.
imagine a disc 2 that is as fleshed out as disc 1?
Oh, can you imagine?
No, I can't.
Uh,
It's too much.
Neither can I, because I felt like they couldn't even do that with Star Ocean 6. So,
Ooh,
I don't, and
ooh,
that's not like from a decade, 2 decades ago. That's just like last year. So,
oh, yeah,
if that game had multiple discs, right? Because
yeah.
they don't all fit in the Blu-ray, it
Yeah,
would be the
what's up
exact
with
same.
that? Why
Yeah.
aren't we seeing multi-disc PS5 games yet? Come on. Let's
I don't think any game has successfully filled an entire Blu-ray disc.
ah, we need
The
to we
Blu-ray
just need
is
to,
the capacity
yeah,
is so large.
we need to fix that, Just
Yeah.
start. I want to see them start giving us cartridges with terabyte SSDs installed. You just plug
Switching
that in.
disc. You gotta
Yep.
switch disc. Yeah, no, I actually don't know that it's a fact, so I don't want to.
Yeah, there
People are gonna
probably
start
some.
quoting me. They're like, "Oh no, you're wrong."
Oh yeah, someone says
Oh,
Final Fantasy 7R.
oh, there's an install disc and a play disc.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess that's kind of the thing when you have a hard drive, you don't really necessarily have to
yeah.
switch disks because you just add the assets onto the disk, the drive.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever. Do
Yep.
you want to get this next comment?
Yes, we've got Wooden's Throne, who says East 5 almost made the company go bankrupt. It flopped massively. It flopped so bad they didn't make another East game for several years.
Oof. Yeah.
It sounds about right, actually. So this is in reference to me saying East 5 is kind of like the dark horse,
Yeah.
the under
The black sheep.
the black sheep. There you go, the black sheep of this series, and we don't talk about East 5.
Yeah.
We talk about play orders. We're talking about East play orders. It's like, oh yeah, go East 1 through 4, and then skip 5, go straight to 6, and then all the way to 9, and then 10 coming. And then they're like, what happened to 5? We don't talk about 5.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. But hey, I'm hoping that Kondo will see, value in actually revisiting East 5 and maybe remaking it and turning that into like retcon E5 into the existing playable library
That'd be pretty
with
rad.
like some new stories, and it's just this gaping hole is just so weird. Just please plug it. Just do it.
Do it, you cowards.
Come on. You won't. Yeah, that's I think that's what East fans, at least some of us, are hoping for.
Well, that about ties us up for all of the comments from last week that we wanted to touch on. However, as far as voicemails go, this time we didn't actually get any. So if you would like to leave us a voicemail that we could play on the air, please be sure to do so at 785-337-3805, or you could send us a voice file to HitPoint at superdarkrpgs.com, and we'll play it around this section of the next podcast.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for leaving comments, and make sure you leave comments on this video.
All right. Remember, leave that voicemail. 785-337-3805. Yes, do it. I'd like to hear your voice.
So we have an update to some past releases. I'll go ahead and tackle this one here real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
And this is Monster Hunter Rise, because they've gone ahead and released or are releasing the expansion pack, for Sunbreak to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X on the 28th here of this coming April. Yeah, April 28th. Yes. So, and it is currently already immediately available for PC and Nintendo Switch. Yes. Why the difference between the two? I don't have an answer for you on that one. But hey, you can go play those immediately on on Switch and PC. So cool.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. So the game was originally released on the Switch and then the PC. I don't know why they took so long to come out on the rest of the platform though.
It's so weird. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the reason why. But but why did they have to split that out to begin with? Nobody knows.
Exclusivity clause maybe with
Yeah,
Nintendo maybe.
possibly. But then why PC before the rest of the consoles, right? It's like,
Maybe the clause said something like, no other consoles specifically. Like sometimes there's console
yes.
exclusivity,
Mhm.
but they don't really consider PC a competition.
Wow. I always feel like PC is like the biggest competition,
I know, that's
but
the great irony, isn't it?
right?
Nintendo is like PC's not a competitor. Meanwhile, meanwhile the Steam Deck begs to differ.
Oh my God, the Steam Deck. Nintendo is not happy about the Steam Deck.
No,
They're like every day they're going into the office like, Steam Deck.
I know. Like it's unfortunate because if Nintendo was on it, they could have been the ones making the Steam Deck. That would have been the Switch Pro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Well, they could have, would have, should have, right?
didn't.
But they didn't.
All right.
Man. All right. So we've got some upcoming releases to talk about. And, we say that as upcoming release this week. What we mean is upcoming releases that we might have missed also from last week that we're going to talk about really quick. Only two of them. But this one actually went even before that. You see, there's a game that kind of slipped our radar. So I kind of want to talk about it still. And
Mhm.
that game is called Mag's Monster. Max Monster is a short, story-driven JRPG with a big twist. Players control Roy, who begins the story with 99,999 HP, and it's virtually untouchable. But the real concern is keeping Meg safe, because if she starts crying, it's game over for everyone.
Okay.
Players will have to master the unique mechanics and mini games baked into each battle, all while protecting Meg and using her favorite toys to keep her pacified. so that's
Interesting.
so it's an interesting game. Where and I've seen a little bit of the playthrough where basically you have this like indestructible monster that you control,
Mhm.
and like in that world, like monsters eats humans, and then this small child wanders into the world. So she's as good as dead, right?
Right.
Except there's just one small issue. If she's upset and starts crying, their entire world like ends. So
Huh.
and only you're aware of that. And so all these other monsters like, let me at her. You're like, nah, bro. Like, you don't want to do this. And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
You
you
want
have
to
an
take a look at the
incentive.
trailer?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let's see what this is all about. Oh, that pixel art is
Mm-hmm.
already on point.
That's the monster.
Oh, you can't see it, but she has 96 HP
Yeah,
in
when
that
monsters
screenshot.
attack, it could damage her. So
Oh, uh-oh.
yeah.
That looks like very Mother 3-esque.
Mm-hmm. That or like Undertale-esque, right?
Uh-huh.
Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Which was inspired, by the Mother series.
Right.
So I would say gorgeous.
So I've been told that this game is about like 6 hours long,
Oh, really?
and it is definitely more story than it is like JRPG.
Uh-huh.
There are RPG elements in
Yeah.
these battles, and you have to figure out how to like best the bosses. But that's not like the main focus. The main gameplay isn't about
It's more about the story and the narrative.
grinding and leveling up. Yeah, it's more about the story. And I've been told the story is I saw one I saw one streamer cried for about an hour and a half after playing the game.
Oh
So
my god.
yeah, no,
Wow.
she cried for a straight hour and a half.
Wow.
It is an emotional journey. Prepare yourself. Harden up before you turn the game on. I've been told it's incredible. So much so that I didn't watch the streamer play it. I saw the beginning bits, and then I'm like, okay, I am going to not watch this anymore. I'm going to play this later. So I'm going to be playing this on Wednesday. Remember how I told you that there's a
Oh.
yeah, that's the palate cleanser after finishing each scene. There you go.
Oh
Max
my
Monster
gosh.
on this Wednesday. Let's go.
Wow. Okay, and that's coming out on let's
So
see.
that actually came out on
Oh.
the second.
Oh.
Remember, I
Yeah.
told you it slipped my radar,
Uh-huh.
right? So
Yeah.
it came out on the second of this month. Look, it's still within the same month,
Sure.
whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Close
It
enough.
came on the second on Xbox One, Xbox X, Series XS, Switch, and PC, which surprisingly, like, PlayStation is missing. This is like what happened to
Hmm.
PlayStation. But you know what? Look, this game does not exactly need that kind of hardware anyway.
Yeah.
Like, so as long as it's on the Switch and PC, I think it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, you're probably gonna
Um,
hit most of your
yeah,
viewers, players if on those two.
yeah, and it's a short game. Yeah, so it looks really good. Hope you guys will give it a shot.
All right. Well,
Yes.
moving along, we had another game that came out pretty recently. I wouldn't really know much about it, but it's
Oh.
this little game called The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure, uh, which
Oh.
was uh, which was a really great boon to Super Dark RPGs this month. Huge thank you to Nisa for sponsoring a couple of those episodes.
Hmm.
Actually, three videos this week or this month, which was great so far. Kind of partially the impetus for starting Kiseki month here on the
Hmm.
channel. By the way, Kiseki month has been going pretty swimmingly so far. Got a few more Kiseki related videos coming out throughout the rest of the month every week. But anyways, Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure. Before Nisa ever paid me to say so, I was already well in love with the game, and you could tell based off of the review of the full version that I did of the full release of the Geofront patch, which has only been enhanced from there on all of the subsequent releases by Nisa. So, yeah, everything basically is either as good as or better than the original Geofront patch that I really viewed. So, anyways, that is now out and it's available on PS4, the Nintendo Switch, as well as PC via Steam. And I would probably still recommend the Switch and PC version. I think that I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure that the PS4 version is still doing the same thing as with the Zero release, which
Yeah.
means that it was the PS4 release is the one Falcom made, and I don't think they were allowed to touch that version. But the ports, which are for Steam and for Nintendo Switch, those were made by Nisa. They were ported, well, not by Nisa specifically, but Durante and his team. And
Mhm.
anyways, they basically commissioned that and could do whatever they wanted with that, and they made it
Mhm.
better. But don't be mad at Nisa for the PS4 version. That's Falcom's fault.
Oh yeah,
Um,
no, Falcom wouldn't let them do it. That was a Falcom decision. Still mad that they weren't forthcoming about the difference in versions.
mhm,
But they remember that they were called out on that for Zero.
yeah.
In fact, who I'm sorry, who was it who worked on the game now?
Durante
Durante
and
called them out.
oh, for not being fourth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, no, I mean, call them out by saying, "Oh, well, the PS4 version does not have this." Here, let me list out all the differences between the versions.
yeah.
You know, that's kind of a call out. Like, it wasn't like, "Hey, you guys should have done this." So here, let me do it for you.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, because you wouldn't do it.
Well,
Um,
there's probably some things that maybe Nisa was, hand tied about it, but I don't know. But anyways,
who knows?
regardless, this is part 2 of the Crossbell arc of the two-part, so play Zero first if you want to play this, and then do Zero, Azure, I mean. I did an unboxing. It's awesome of the collector's edition. It was a lot of fun. So make sure you check out those videos. But hey, you want to take a look at the official trailer instead of just hearing
Let's
me
look
yammer on
at
about
the
it?
official trailer.
All right, let's take a gander here.
I like official stuff.
This trailer is
Oh my
officially...
god.
Oh, you know what? There might be spoilers, so close your eyes
Wow.
if you're, you know, averse to, you know... Actually, I don't know if there's any real spoilers here. There might be kind of some.
Wow. Oh my god. Who is that character? And who is this character?
Baku,
oh
close
my
your
god.
eyes. Avert your eyes, Baku.
Spoilers. Oh no, what are these planes?
Oh my goodness.
Spoilers. They're just spraying spoilers from their machine spoiler guns.
Oh my goodness. A city in peril.
Oh
man.
no, I couldn't.
Seriously.
Oh no.
It gets... This game just turns everything up to 11. I love it so much.
Who's this fool?
Oh, you already know him from Zero. It's fine.
Do I?
I mean, you don't. There's a city.
Thanks,
spoilers.
Derek.
Spoilers. Who knew that? There's a bell and a cross bell.
The bell.
But seriously, there's some crazy revelations.
I've heard.
Oh, it goes hard.
I've heard.
I loved Zero, but Azure just like went. It was
there.
Like, it was like 150% of Zero.
I think
I was
there's a
in love with
reason
Zero,
why.
but it just like so far exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think there's a reason why, like, I mean, not everyone says this, but a lot of Trails fans will tell me the same thing, which is Crossbell has been like just peak Trails for them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that they don't like Cold Steel.
Yeah.
But if you have to ask them which is like their favorite arc, it's Crossbell.
Yeah.
Like that was peak.
It's still,
so far.
It still feels pretty peak.
Yeah.
So... And I've played through a couple. I've played through a couple of Cold Steel games so far.
Yeah. Yeah. Before anyone in chat goes like, "Well, I don't agree with that." Yeah. No, I'm not saying everyone agrees with that,
Yeah.
but
Trails fans aren't a monolith.
Yeah. A whole lot of people have told me the same thing. So more often than not, and there's got to be a reason why they stand out among so many great games, right? So. Ooh, okay. So when's this coming out again?
It came out
when
on
did
the
it come
14th.
Out? On the 14th. Okay.
Yep. So it's
no,
out
another
now.
game that we missed.
Make sure you go and get the what's it called? They have the deluxe edition at this point. Maybe not the full collector's edition, but they have a deluxe edition that also has right now, if you get it, 5-song OST digital download available. So that's pretty sweet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next one is another game that had came out while we were on break, and this one is called Bayonetta Origins: Cereza and the Lost Demon. This one came out on the 17th, only on the Switch. This is the game that depicts the origin story of the Bayonetta series protagonist who went by the name Cereza before becoming an Umbra Witch. Let's take a look at that trailer so we know what we're talking about.
Alrighty.
This one is this one actually looks pretty good now that I look at it. But like before I thought it looked kind of cheap and like just meh, but like now that I look at it some more, like actually it looks like a really fun game.
I mean, when I saw bits of this before, it gave me Okami vibes, I think.
Yeah, I've really changed my mind on it now that I've seen more of it.
You've come around?
Yeah, I've come around. Not that I am dying to play it because I'm not like a Bayonetta fan. I haven't to play any Bayonetta game, but if I did,
I thought the waifu would have brought you in like happily.
But Bayonetta?
I thought that like I don't know, something about Platinum Games and a hot lady protagonist would. Like,
well,
I thought that's like the combination that would bring you straight there.
I mean, the thing is, I've seen the gameplay. I kind of know what's going on. So some of that freshness factor has been removed from me. Plus,
Uh,
I'm really not a big like Dante, uh,
Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry kind of
Yeah,
gamer. Like, I don't
sure.
mind action RPG, but
It kind of rides
like,
a line, right? It doesn't really.
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
seems to be missing some of that narrative-driven element that I like in my action
It's
RPGs.
more like it feels more like stages,
Yeah,
like you restart a stage and then
yeah,
you do all your combos, you fight a boss and stage ends. It's not like an RPG, if you will, like an
yeah.
action RPG. Like there's a thin
Just
line
action,
between the two.
just an action
Yeah,
game at a certain point, right?
yeah. The way that the game progresses, I guess, is not my style.
Yeah.
But
Now
I
the
do
question I
want to
have
play it at some point,
is
though. There's
is
that.
this going to be more action RPG-ish? That's the
I
real question.
don't know. I mean, looking at it, it actually honestly looks more like an action RPG than their main series. It
Hmm.
feels like it's like a more like a like Charles at Mana kind of deal where you're like
Yeah.
moving like from place to
Oh
place.
yeah,
Like,
I see that.
yeah.
Where you're like avoiding areas of effect and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the game's already out, so maybe someone can tell us.
Oh yeah. That's a good point.
There's no need to guess. Someone had played the
It
game,
looks
so you
really
can
neat though.
tell
I like
us.
the art style
Yeah.
and man.
Yeah, at first it looked kind of cheap, and it's like, oh, did they just like do it like a cash grab? It's like, well, no, now that I look at it, I think the style's very deliberate.
Mhm.
It is definitely a storybook kind of deal. It doesn't really look cheap at all. It actually looks pretty
Exactly.
good.
I agree. I was gonna say, like, this is one of those things, those styles that could easily have been done really inexpensively.
Mhm.
Um, but it looks
Like,
like they definitely weren't attempting to do this style in a cutting corner sort of way.
there you go. Thank you. That's exactly what it is.
It looks like they at least have been trying to do something really cool with it, and I
It's
like that.
intentional.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a stylistic decision.
it's a stylistic decision. It looks good.
I like
It
it.
looks good. Yeah.
You know, as far as trailers go, at least I think that looks like it could be up my alley.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you know
So
what's up in your alley, the next game.
I know the next game is
Definitely.
such up my alley, man.
Yes.
So this game is actually going to be coming out this week, and I know a lot of y'all are just as excited about this game as I am, and which is why
Mhm.
Baku curated this one specifically for me to talk about, and that is
Mm.
none other than the remake of Resident Evil 4. Oh yeah, let's go! Coming out on the
Yeah.
24th. That is just a few days away. You can get it on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, and PC via Steam. The PS4 version can also be upgraded to the PS5 version for free.
Hey, good guys, Capcom. All
Yeah,
right.
I was super happy when that worked for my copy of Yakuza Like a Dragon. I got the PS4
Oh.
Steelbook version,
Mm-hmm.
free upgrade to the PS5 version. I
Mm-hmm.
would love to see this happen more often, you know?
Yes.
Now, let's go ahead and watch this incredible trailer for Resident Evil 4. It's gonna be
Remake. Mm.
the remake.
Mm.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah.
I love
Derek's super excited about horror games.
yeah. Yep. And Baku knows how much of a fan I am,
Oh
which
yeah,
is
you love horror
exactly
games.
which is exactly why he made sure I was talking about it this time around. So this was originally a GameCube game, right? That was then
I
ported to.
think so. Yes.
There was a really good port to the Wii, I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of people really liked that version in particular. And since
Yeah.
then, this has been ported several times, as I understand it. But now we're seeing a remake,
Yes.
which is, pretty
Which
pretty dang
people
sweet.
are people were nervous about because they didn't quite like 3
Mhm.
remake.
Oh, did they not?
No, they really liked 2 remake. 2
Mhm.
remake was like You know, probably the
Oh yeah,
best, most well received one so
it's
far.
like Game of the Year quality stuff, right?
Oh yeah, and then 3. I personally like 3. But I get why people were upset about it. It just felt like they cut too much stuff out of it. They should have kept more things in and taken their time. So they're a little nervous about 4. Is it going to be more like 2? Is it going to be more like 3? We don't know yet, but it looks amazing. The other thing is that the gameplay for 4 is drastically different from 2 and 3.
That's right.
So what are they going to do? Well, the producer has said that this game is going to play very similar to 2 and 3 Remake. So if you play those games, you're gonna feel pretty much right at home, except this is gonna be more actiony.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be faster paced. I feel like they've been going towards that like direction. Like, so 2 was kind of fast paced, but you know, it's still more survival horror. 3 was definitely notably faster paced than 2. And now this, I feel like they're just like dialing up that action. Like it's gonna be even faster paced than 3 is my guess.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
You know, that kind of that progression from survival horror into more action kind of rhymes a little bit with my experience watching like the Resident or not Resident the Evil Dead series of movies, where it starts off very horror, survival horror, like people just trying to survive. And by the second movie, it's all like more so action, slight bit of horror. And then by the third movie in the series, Army of Darkness, it's slapstick. It's great. So hopefully we'll see that with Resident Evil 5 or something. I don't know.
No, well, see, here's the thing, like Resident Evil 5, like Resident Evil slowly became more of it like an action game, like as you keep playing.
I know.
So like not the remake, but like, you know, so I'm not surprised that they did something similar like for the remakes, like just slowly. But look, it looks amazing. I love 2 and 3 remakes, so I can't wait to see this one. Like, and Derek, you know what? Someone came in the other day into Twitch, and they were like, "So, are we trying to shame Derek into playing Resident Evil? Like, are you gonna try to get Derek to play Resident Evil 4?"
Good luck.
I was like, never. I would never make Derek play Resident Evil 4 remake. I would make him play Resident Evil 2 remake.
Oh,
The scarier one.
I thought we were friends.
I think 2 is more atmospheric. It's like things pop up and like, you know, it's quiet.
Great.
Zombies just pops
Great.
out.
That's what I like about
jump scares.
Stinking horror games.
Look, everyone wants you to play Resident Evil 2. Everybody here wants you to play Resident Evil 2.
I don't think that's true.
Just for one stream. How about you try for one stream? When it's on discount, we'll get you the game and you just play for one stream. And you can test your pretty like graphics card. You know, you get that new graphics card coming in.
I do got that new graphics card.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I'll think about it.
We'll think about it. All right. Just remember, right around like Halloween time, we're gonna pastor Derek over at Twitter. Yeah, we're gonna spam you all the shames. All right. So now we can move away from the horror game that Derek loves so much and talk about something that's not scary at all. And another highly anticipated game that's going to be released this week. In fact, the same day as Resident Evil 4 Remake is none other than Atelier Ryza 3, Alchemist of the End, and The Secret Key. The third entry to the Atelier Ryza series, which will continue to follow Ryza as the protagonist. And we've got a trailer for that too, so we can take a quick look at that.
So I wonder, is this going to be the conclusion of the Atelier Ryza series, or is it just like the Atelier Ryza? Oh, is this just like the Ryza series now? At this point,
we won't know.
We won't know until they announce whatever is after this.
Yes, and even afterwards, they can always come back and make like a Ryza 4. You just don't know. So, for example, Atelier Sophie was the first game in the Mysterious series. What they used to do back then was like, and they did it for a while, where like you'll have like a first game, and the second game will follow a different protagonist, with like the first game protagonist like having cameos or having some role in the second game, and they're all sequels. And the third game will follow another protagonist, with the previous two being in there. Again, it's a sequel, which is what they did for the Mysterious series. So then it was Ryza and then like two other games, right? I'm sorry, not Ryza, Sophie, and then two other games. But then Ryza came out, so you would imagine that the Sophie series is over, and now it's Ryza. The difference in Ryza is Ryza basically retained the role of protagonist for 3 games.
Yeah.
Right? But during that time, they went back and released Atelier Sophie 2, which is a direct sequel to Lily and Suel. So like basically the 4th game in the series, but going back to Sophie as being the protagonist.
Oh, okay.
So if they decide to make a new series after this and then come back and do a Ryza 4, they could. They have done something similar. So yeah.
All right.
There was another game that they did. Actually, no. Is there? Did they do it? No, I think Sophie's the only one where they went back and actually did like a same protagonist sequel. They did go back and did the Arlen series and added like a 4th game to it, but that's like yet another new protagonist, so it's a little bit different.
Cool.
Yeah, I looked into the Atelier games, even though I haven't played all of them. I want to play them. It's just they are so hard to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all the information on that. Do we
welcome.
go over when it's coming out and where it's coming?
No, not yet. So this, well, kind of. I did say that it's going to come out the same day as Resident Evil 4 Remake.
That's
just
true.
in case you didn't remember what Derek said, that's the 24th. So in a couple of days, releasing on PS4, 5, Switch, and PC via Steam. Man, yeah. I played, I don't know if I told y'all this, but I actually played Sophie twice.
Really?
I beat Sophie twice. Yeah, I beat it once on PlayStation 4 and I beat it again on PC. So I really do. I wanted, okay, so I beat the PS4 one, and then I bought I keep forgetting Ferris. Atelier Ferris and Lady and Suel's, which is like the 2nd and 3rd game. So I bought them. I have them on PS4. I still do. And then they released this like deluxe version with all 3 games on Steam with like bonus content. So I went back and played Sophie with the bonus content, and now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buckle down and now play through all 3 games on PC. I haven't. I just finished Sophie again, and I was like, yeah.
Well,
but Sophie 2 is a thing, and it looks really good as well.
Cool. Well, now you can get to the 2nd in the series whenever you feel like it at this point, I guess, right?
I mean, I feel like it. I just don't have time to do it.
I know
I certainly
how that feels, man.
feel like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Symphonia is like, hey, when am I going to get my turn? I'm like, anyways. Yeah.
Well, that brings us to a new set of games that are going to be coming out eventually. We've got some announcements to go over.
I got so many game announcements. 2 weeks
guys.
worth.
This is. I was thinking this is going to be a bit of a long stream, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see if
we'll see how long it takes.
It will take as long as it must.
Okay.
By the way, I've been seeing a lot of super chats coming in. By the way, thank you guys so much for those super chats. We will be responding to those towards the end of the stream, so stick around for that if you dropped any in. But we will be responding to each one.
Yes.
So before that, though, we have the new games that were announced since our last podcast a couple of weeks ago, starting with this one from Dongen Entertainment and Moonlight Games, who have announced their fast-paced gothic pixel art action RPG called Hunt of the Night. And we have a trailer. What's that?
No of.
No, you're right. It's not Hunt of the Night. It's Hunt the Night. Sorry.
I also read it as Hunt of the Night.
My brain wants to Castlevania this title.
I read that as Hunt of the Night when I was writing that. But it wasn't.
Well, thank you for the correction.
You're welcome.
Oh man, I would have totally. I just my brain wanted to Castlevania that title.
No, we should write to them. Be like, how about you change it to Hunt of the Night? I think you'll do better. If you change it just rolls off the tongue easier.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that looks like Souls. Kind of. I mean, the spider lady looked like straight out of Dark Souls 1, but what is this?
It is. They
Okay.
called it
It's
a gothic
like a
action
running gun.
pixel. Well, it's action RPG.
Yeah, not a
Said.
a running gun. It's like a twin stick shooter kind of deal.
Possibly.
Oh, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. It might be twin stick in. Yeah, I mean, it's like super fast paced. So I really like that. There's a lot of dodging happening.
A lot of shooting.
To some puzzles. It reminds me honestly a lot of the older East games.
Oh yeah.
In
Like the
terms of the like pace of battle.
That is beautiful though. I will say
It is
that
a
pixel art
beautiful
looks
looking-
great.
Look at that. Yeah.
Oh,
Like
that-
fighting
so
that boss
fluid.
right there just looks like an East like boss. Like East 3 before East 3.
Yeah. Oh wow. It's such a stupid thing to get hung up on, but I can't help but look at games like this and think, oof, if only they,
Some blood.
like,
Okay.
if
A
only
lot
they
of
had,
blood.
I was gonna say, if only they had characters of like the proportionality of like Terranigma or
Oh,
Chrono
yeah.
Cross or Chrono Trigger rather.
What is the giant head? Is that the problem?
It's more like just the tiny body. You know, the head's the fine
Kinda
size. Just
chibi.
make the body bigger. Like
Kind of
I don't know.
chibi.
It's
I like the Terranigma size too. I thought that was like the optimal.
yeah. I felt like that was
Yeah.
classic for that overhead aesthetic. But I mean, we're also kind of gluttons for the Secret of Mana, Trials of Mana kind of art style.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I see action RPGs, I'm like that. I'm like, oh, if only it was just a little bit different. But I get it because that would also take away from some of that nimbleness that they're going for with like the smaller sprites and dashing around.
Yeah.
It makes it a little
Smaller
harder to tell.
hitbox.
Yeah. It makes it a little harder to tell where your hitbox is. But man, part of me still really just has a soft spot for that older style. But otherwise, don't let me rain on this parade. That game looks cool.
Yeah.
And it has been announced as coming out on the 13th of April here. So it's coming out on
very
PC.
soon.
And they say that the console releases will be available at some point in the future.
No,
TBD.
no exact dates. Yeah, but they are coming.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we've got just a quick update to this wonderful remaster that's coming. Capcom just announced the release date for Ghost Trick Phantom Detective remaster during their Spotlight presentation. The game will be coming in June 30th of this year on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. So yeah, I know a lot of y'all are waiting for that. Ghost Trick. I saw a lot of people going like, oh my god, I can't wait to play Ghost Trick. I was like, what's Ghost Trick? I like no idea what that is. And now I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's actually really cool. I can see why you guys are excited for this. So yeah, the people who likes to play probably like, I don't know, I want to say Ace Attorney might be interested. It's not the same kind of game, but I feel like it's going for the similar crowd. Like the Venn diagram is definitely closer to a circle than not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys a question.
Mhm.
What if the Legend of Heroes Trails series was an action RPG?
Man, that's not a thing.
That's not a thing? Oh,
That's not a thing.
I don't know, man, because have you heard about the Legend of Nayuta, Boundless Trails?
What is that?
Well, in Japan, it's
What?
known as Nayuta no Kiseki, but in the West, it is the Legend of it's the Legend of Nayuta, Boundless Trails. NISA and IS America have officially announced to the worldwide release of the much anticipated action RPG title, Legend of Nayuta, Boundless Trails, with a new introduction trailer.
A new trailer? What?
Yes, would you like to see this?
Yes, please. Show me that action Trails. Trails being an action game? What?
I mean, it'd be kind of like, I don't know, kind of like an East title, I imagine.
Yeah, boy, I have Never seen this trailer before.
But seriously, now for anybody who's curious, there has been a fan translation available for this that was basically done via machine learning, I think. You know, back before
Really?
machine learning translations were like really
Widely
good.
available.
Yeah. Like it was basically it's like Google translated, but I mean, I don't know. I don't want to cast any like it was a perfectly serviceable translation.
Deep L. Did they do a deep L?
I don't think it was like that. I don't know. But I have been told that the quality of that localization was such that it is not entirely clear if this is actually connected to the wider world of the Trails series or not.
So is it?
We don't know.
Huh.
I mean, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. So anyways, this, as far as we know, may not necessarily be connected to the Trails series, or maybe it could be connected in a very roundabout way. It's, you know, I don't know. We don't know. Anyways, this is Nayuta no Kiseki. So, as in...
This is 5,000 years in the past in an alternative universe.
It could be. There are some fan theories about how they could be connected.
Oh, really? Okay.
There are fan theories, but it's not yet been established. We don't know. But anyways, it's an older action RPG that was released originally on like PSP in Japan only, and now it's getting ported to the West for PC and Nintendo Switch and PS4, Switch, and PC. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's gonna be coming out in fall of 2023. So keep your eyes peeled for it. Yeah, because this could be really fun.
We'll come back to you when there's an exact date. I think I am interested in playing it because I do like my East games. You know, if this plays like an East game, maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 I just wouldn't look at it like it's a Trails game.
No, I mean,
I'll look at it more like an East game.
That's kind of it. It's probably more like an East game, but it might have ties to Trails. You know.
Best of both worlds is what you're telling me.
I wouldn't rule it out that it could in fact be connected, is all I'm gonna say. I've heard some fan theories that sound pretty interesting, but you know, you'd have to have played through several of the Trails games to probably understand the fan theories at all. So
it's like one of those Zelda theories, you know, like
yeah, it's like the
sounds
you know, Charlie from Always Sunny with like all the string on the walls. Okay, here's my plan. Here's
I see.
Here's how it could work.
I see it now.
Here's the
Allow
pattern.
me to explain.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Keep your eyes out for that. It looks exciting, and it's really cool that happened to be announced pretty recently. So cool.
All right. Well, speaking of deductions and stuff, NISA has also announced the release date of their new mystery adventure game called Process of Elimination, with yet another trailer, which we'll take a look at in just a second.
Okay.
In this game, the detectives 14 detectives are gathered together on a mysterious island to stop a serial killer, and soon realize that the culprit hides among them. So this is definitely like a Danganronpa sort of situation where the killer is among us.
I was gonna say, please tell me that they say the word "Among Us."
Which one is the most sus?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There has to be some sort of reference to that. I feel like Danganronpa would not be above some referential humor like that.
They definitely would. They definitely would. But yeah, shall we look at the trailer to see what that looks like?
Yeah. So, by the way, the trailer that you provided was actually just another trailer to the Nayuta. So, I found this one instead. It's a 5-minute trailer. I don't know if this is the one you wanted or not.
No, that's a shorter one. Did you want to take a look at the shorter one?
Sure. Do you want to throw it into?
Hang on 1 second. Let me look it up.
All right. No worries.
It would take like 2 minutes because I was just doing this earlier.
No worries. Well, in the meantime, we'll just catch up on this trailer. Yeah. This is actually a really long trailer, though, so I wonder if I should skip ahead a little bit. I don't know.
Sure, there's a shorter one. I lied. It's taking longer than I thought it would. Hold on a sec.
Baku
I
sus.
found one. I found one that was like a minute and something.
Mm-hmm. You yep, Sussy Baku.
5. Yeah, I was gonna do the 1 minute and 42 seconds one.
Okay. Just throw it in Discord when you've got it.
Yeah. I was gonna do this one.
Oh, okay. I can.
So it's
I can
only
do
a
that.
minute. Oh, it's only a minute and 42 seconds, just so we have an idea what this game is. I mean, certainly look at the longer trailer if you really want to know what this game's about. But
Yep. All right. So we'll watch this one instead here. There we go. Thank you,
yeah,
Baku.
substantially shorter.
All right.
So you can see what this game's about. And
HitPoint got to be the most professional podcast on all of YouTube.
all of YouTube, the most professional.
That's a bop.
Yeah, so all 14 detectives have some kind of ranking. I think they have like these detective rankings. They're from like a detective like association. And basically these detectives have rankings. You're one of the lowest ranking like detective. Like you're just like blah.
You're kind of like the fanboy who's just kind of there. You're like, oh, cool.
Yeah. And all of these detectives, they have like a certain way to like discern for the truth. Like,
oh, that's right. They have their own abilities,
quirks.
right?
Yeah, they have different abilities. Yeah.
We talked about this in the last stream, didn't we? I think we did, because they all have like, or maybe not the last one, but we did talk about it at one point. Because like one of them's got like
we did talk about it at one
seduction
point, yes.
as or something as like one of their abilities, and somebody else has like mind read or something, and I don't know.
Yeah, something. They just have different. They have different abilities. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that we talked about it when it was announced, but maybe not yet coming to the West officially yet. But we had a slow news day or something. I don't know. That might have been.
No, I think we were talking about Code Rain or something.
Oh,
it's
maybe
like
that was it.
Yeah, it's from Danganronpa. Yeah, from Spike Chunsoft. That's a different game. Yeah, but very similar demographics of people.
Similar
all
vibes.
Still detectives. Yeah, similar vibe, and also probably catering towards a similar crowd of people who likes these kind of deduction games. So yeah, no, it looks really fun.
They're like, all right, here's our demographic. We're looking for people who enjoy Death Note and waifus.
Well, so this game is coming out on the 11th of April for North America, and the 14th of April for those of you who are living in Europe, and we know that there are a couple of you there, for the PS4 system and also the Switch. Demo is now available, so if you want to just play the demo and try it out and see if it's something that you might want to get into, now's the chance.
Cool. All right. So this one actually, it grabbed my attention when I was adding a bunch of trailers to the playlist today. And this one is actually, it's from a Chinese developer, Yuyan, who have announced their take on an HD 2D action RPG called The Legend of Contraria for PC. And we have an announcement trailer, and I'd like to take a look at it because I still haven't really had a chance to really look at it.
Oh, no, we want to capture your, like, you know,
raw,
capture your
emotional, you know, gotta get that real. You don't want to watch a rerun of Derek's, like, you know, reactions, do you?
I mean, it could be in reenactment.
Okay.
Yeah? Yeah?
Okay. At first it was okay, but and it's all right. But here's the thing with that they did though. Here's what's wrong. The pixels shift. They like the pixels rotate. you know?
Pixels rotate.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not actually pixel art like redrawn and via pixels. Like look at the here. Can I let's see if I don't know what the hotkey is, but if you pause it at a certain point, when like there's an enemy on screen, here, keep going a little bit. I like the big when they have like the big Yeti on the screen or something, and he's like swinging his arm downward at an angle. It's really noticeable that the pixels don't remain square shaped; they go diamond shaped because they rotate the whole thing.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah, the whole pixel rotates.
So it's 3D. They just look at it from a side.
It's high res, but they're pretending to be I don't know what it is. It's so you see how like they're like doing the rag doll or the paper doll animation on the main drawing character. Like they're doing that to the pixel art to animate the pixels, where they're just rotating the whole thing rather than repositioning the pixels. I mean, some people won't care about that.
This game gives me the Maple Story vibe for some reason. They don't look anything like each other, but that run animation. I don't know what it is about this game that gives me like that strong Maple Story vibe.
Yeah. So anyways, it's not for me because, you know, it feels like fake pixel art to me, to my eye. I just it looks like it embodies how, you know, for a while people were like tired of pixel art RPGs because they felt like it was a way of cheaping out. No, this is how you cheap out further on a pixel art RPG. You don't even reanimate in pixel art. You just move the pixels around like a paper doll. And it bugs me so much.
Oh boy.
That's my I don't know. I was excited and now I'm not.
Yeah, okay. So about that, like I don't really have an eye at looking at the pixels per se, but just the movement was just like so kind of awkward, and like I don't know, I can't put my finger on it. It's just something about it.
Yeah.
Something about it, like the dashing around, it just looked like
okay. Okay, here. Let me put this up to full screen real quick. So if you look at the diagonal pixel art of the monster, it's not straight up and down. It's not jaggy because of, you see what they done? The whole arm has just been it's not been redrawn with pixels that are like, you know, on a grid. They just broke it apart and they're like, okay, turn this a little bit, turn that a little bit. That's just me being picky though, but I don't know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm more bothered by the animation, and you know, like not like particular frame, but just like how it's all put together. It's just like
this has when Fallout Shelter was released, for this was the mobile game that was a tie-in game for Fallout 4. I played the heck out of that, but it had a very similar kind of animation style of, you know, and I think that's what this also smacks of, is it just looks kind of like a mobile game, but with like really cheaped out mobile game. And they're trying to do the HD 2D, but you never notice they haven't shown like what a full screen of gameplay would look like.
Yes.
What are they hiding?
That's what I want to see too. And look, like I'm just hoping that maybe this is just like an early look at it, because, you know, it's Q1 2024. They've got like a whole year, but, you know, we'll have to see what it looks like when they give us an actual date and probably a new trailer. And hopefully we can actually see what the game actually looks like.
If they reanimate the whole thing, maybe I'll be interested. So
I doubt it.
So yeah, I doubt it too. So that's The Legend of Contraria coming to PC via Steam in Q1 of 2024.
That's right. All right. Next up, we've got a game that we've talked about before that I'm still looking to play, and maybe get my community to play, maybe get Derek to play.
Hmm.
And the game is called Dokapon Kingdom Connect. Idea Factory just gave us the release date for the international release. This is actually a multiplayer board game with RPG elements. So it
Yep.
sounds like right up my alley. It's like, what kind of game can I play with people, but also RPG?
Yeah.
So in this game you can pick different classes. You play against each other. You can put you can fight monsters on the map. You can change class. You sabotage one another. It's like Mario Party, but
Yeah.
with RPG and class changes and weapons and armors. And let's take a look at it. So
Okay.
get an idea what that's about.
All right. We'll take a look at this trailer here. So as I understand it, and I think the last time we covered this, we were under the impression at the time that this was the first time it was coming to the West, and that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, that was not the case. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my mistake.
Yeah, that's okay. But this was released on the Wii, and I think I might even have a copy on the Wii. Maybe.
Oh yeah,
I might. But
I think now we have online play, so
that would be an
could
upsell for
change
sure.
things. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, if it's on Steam, you just go on Steam and just play with friends. I mean,
That'd be really cool.
that sounds like a good time to me. Yeah, here's the thief class and mage and warrior. And then there are like upper level classes where like if you level up enough, you can go to like an upper level class. So you can class change.
What is this trailer going on about? Hang on, let me turn this up a little.
And with the new online multiplayer mode, even in the comfort of your own home, you will never.
I don't know what Idea Factory is going for, but
But I'm sure that won't happen to you. So, once you get to the kingdom, liberate all the towns, aid your friends. There's the simple problem of the rumors. The rumors that plague the land. Whispers of a dark overlord that's pulling the strings
Okay.
in the
I'm gonna turn that back
shadows.
down for a minute.
Follow the kingdom howl.
I mean, you gotta give it to the guy though, who's doing the voice. You know, he's giving it his all.
he's trying his best.
All right. Well, that's exciting.
9th.
May 9th.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I really want to play this game with people. Definitely not just like again, just like Mario Party, but with RPG. That's how I look at it.
Oh, someone says that Dokapon Kingdom AI is tough. So yeah, you definitely want to play with somebody
Oh.
else. So that
Okay, we're not playing any AIs now.
Yep,
We're gonna be
no
all
AI.
human team.
So let's go ahead and move along to our next entry in the list of games that were announced, which is very exciting to me because I think this is one of the very first. No, wait, no. Okay, never mind. I lied. This one's not exciting at all. Just kidding. I'm somewhat excited. Rune Factory 3 Special has been announced by Xseed Games for North America and Europe. They gave us a release date for Rune Factory 3 Special. This is the remaster version of the Nintendo DS game Rune Factory 3. This version of the game will feature a new mode called Newlywed Mode, which is the standalone adventure that is unlocked after the player character marries one of 11 possible bachelorettes. See, I was excited for a second because I thought this was Rune Factory 4, which was the Wii version, which was the first version I ever played. But no, it's Rune Factory 3. But it actually might be okay. So let's check out the trailer here for Rune Factory 3 Special, and we'll see if that's any good.
Oh, I know a couple of friends of mine would be super excited. They'd love the Rune Factory games. They love the what's that other game series?
Harvest Moon?
Harvest Moon.
Or was? You mean like
they'd love all those.
Yeah, well this one's like the original Harvest Moon series, you know, on like a Super Nintendo, but it has combat mechanics, as I understand it. And actually seeing this as it is right now, I kind of dig it. You know, it's got kind of like that older Super Nintendo-ish maybe PlayStation 1-ish kind of vibe to it.
I'd say PS2.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks better like PS2 version, but like the style of a Super Nintendo or SNES or a PlayStation 1 style game.
Yeah.
Like the
Looks
I feel like PS2 would have tried to do like full on, Dawn of Mana style or something.
oh no, we don't talk about that, Amanda. we don't talk about that, Amanda.
All right, so that's Rune Factory 3 coming September 5th of 2023. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Because yeah, that actually looks like I wasn't super excited until I saw it in action, because I've seen some Rune Factory games that just don't look super good. But that actually looks like it has a certain level of polish that has me intrigued.
Yeah, September 5th, man.
Yeah. Coming to PC and Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Wow. Another game to bug Derek to play.
Oh dear.
All right. Next up, we've got publisher and developer Chucklefish announcing the sequel to the turn-based strategy game of Wargroove, which will simply be called Wargroove 2. Good on you for not coming up with crazy names. Just slap a number behind it and call it a sequel. So here's a story from their official site. 3 years have passed since Queen Mercia and her allies defeated the ancient adversaries and restored peace in Aronia. Now, an ambitious foreign faction is unearthing forbidden technologies that could have catastrophic consequences for the land and its people. And of course, you will have to fight back against those said foreign factions. So let's take a look at that trailer.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, folks who already know what Wargroove 1 is like, I think you're gonna find more of the same in Wargroove 2.
Yeah. Now, Wargroove, I think, was kind of positioned as a spiritual successor to, oh God, what's the other one?
Advanced War?
Yeah, Advance Wars. Thank you. God, I don't know why I could vision it in my head on Game Boy Advance, but for whatever reason, could not pull the name Advance Wars out. But yeah, Wargroove 1 was pretty well received, and Wargroove 2 looks about.
Wargroove is kind of like what I wish Linguistic would be more like.
Oh yeah?
Like, instead of doing like a really lazy release, like, this actually looks good, right? Like the art, you might be a fan, you may not be a fan, but you can tell that they've worked on the battle animation, and like all the units are pretty unique.
Yeah,
and like
the idle animations look really nice.
They've spent time on these, right?
This is what I was hoping for the
other game.
Yes,
Contraria.
Yes, Contraria, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was hoping for from that one, is like, big pixel art stuff, well animated, done in a real style. But yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, unfortunate. But hey, look, Wargroove 2 looks good. So
this looks
that.
super good. Correct.
Right? Now, this has just been announced. There's no release date, but the game is being developed for the Switch and the PC. So as soon as we know more about it, we'll come back and we'll give you guys an update on it.
All right. Well, we have now got a little bit of additional information as it relates to Front Mission 2's remake. So Square Enix and Forever Entertainment have announced that release date for Front Mission 2 remake and a new trailer. So this will be the first time that the game is released outside of Japan BT dubs. So let's take a look at this. Did I give you the
wrong trailer again?
You did, but I picked a different one. So we'll see if this works.
How did I just keep giving you the wrong trailers?
I don't know.
Oh, this is the right one here.
Cool. So yeah, this is the first time we're even seeing this, because this trailer was not included when they announced the original Front Mission 1 and 2. We just saw a little bit of Front Mission 1. So yeah.
This music, man. This is some classic Squaresoft.
Ooh, is that Sakaguchi? Or not Sakaguchi.
I was like, what?
Not Sakaguchi. Gosh dang it. Who's the composer again of Uematsu? That's who I was thinking.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's around that time.
Yeah. Similar instruments to what Uematsu did.
Look at this. This actually looks better than the first remake. The first remake didn't look all that impressive. This looks a little better. IMO.
Cool thing about, animating mecha is it's really easy because all you got to do is make it look kind of robotic and chunky, and that's like just turn off motion tweening.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for this.
Yeah, that's
this,
looking real nice.
This is coming out on June 12th, as you can see. 2023, releasing only on the Switch. I'm actually waiting to play the first remake, like probably on my own. I'm probably not going to stream it. I just want to
Yeah, sure.
get my hand. The thing about tactic games is like they're really hard to stream. Like I'm like focusing on strategy, and
Oh
I'm
my
just
gosh.
like
I
I
know.
don't want to reach chat.
You
I
get
wanna
into
talk
the
to you.
zone.
Yeah.
You don't want to omit the chat from the experience because that's like half of what they're there for. But at the same time, sometimes you just gotta.
Like I'm playing a chess game, just like shh, trying to focus. Not trying to look stupid, right? Like I'm already bad at playing tactical games, so talking to you does not help.
Just playing.
Cool
It's like,
stuff.
playing any game. I feel like while streaming just puts that game on hard mode.
Right? Yeah. So I'm kind of worried about playing Triangle Strategy, which is coming up. You're like, plays Triangle Strategy. It's like, but I need to play Triangle Strategy. It's just
I've
sitting
heard
in
really
my.
good things about Triangle Strategy.
Yes, I've also heard. Well, I've heard lots of good things. I've heard some not so good things. That in that there's just way too much story. It's like an hour or two of story before you get to the next. Yeah, it's
at
like
least
that.
at least with that you can hang out with chat in between combat.
Yeah. But yeah, my copy is just sitting on the shelf and just like collecting dust, and I hate it. I hate the fact that it's just collecting dust. So I gotta get to it. And all these new games that we're talking about, it certainly doesn't help.
Oh my god, I know. The backlog just grows exponentially.
Derek.
I play a few hours of one game, 13 new RPGs announced.
Yeah, no, okay. Think about it, guys. Every week we're talking about new games that are announced. Let's say 2 of them are brand new and not just like, oh, we got an update, like let's say 2 of them are brand new announcements. That's like 2 games a week. How many games do you guys think we finish in a
my
week?
God.
Less than 1.
Not enough. That's how many.
Less than 1 out of 10. But yeah. Well, speaking of new games, this is not a new game per se. Sorry, let me correct myself. This is not a new announcement per se, but they are giving us a release date. It is coming from Bandai Namco. They're announcing the international release date finally to the latest Sword Art Online series action RPGs called Sword Art Online Last Recollection. And we do have a trailer for that, so you can take a look to see what gameplay looks like.
All right,
That's always good.
Take a quick gander here.
The voice acting is great. So this is based on the Underworld arc, and they tweaked some things from the light novel and anime. So it's not gonna be like straight from like those, sources. If that makes sense.
Not just a straight retelling.
Yeah. So like if you've already seen the anime, it's, oh, I've already seen the anime. It's like, yeah, but it's different from the anime in some profound ways. So hopefully that keeps your interest more or less. It is an action RPG. As it basically has always been from the beginning of this series. I actually want to try the series. I have the games.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about it too. Like if it's still going on, people must really enjoy these games.
Yeah.
And I wonder, I don't know. I feel like, yeah.
This may be. I never thought about this, but this may be the longest running tied in RPG.
That's what I was thinking too.
Like, I can't think of like another RPG that has like an anime tie-in that isn't Pokemon,
Yeah,
because that's not fair.
true that.
That's not fair. But yeah, like another. Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah,
Can't think of anything else.
Digimon. That's also kind of not fair.
Yeah, because the thing
That's
about
also
that,
barely continuing.
well, no, the thing about those is those are multimedia project. Like
That's
they
true.
plan to do this from the get go.
Yeah, but this is more like a novel that happened to also get an anime that then also happened to
get a game.
Yeah,
and
so
then
it's-
kept going.
so it's more like a novel
continuous
tie-in.
series.
I-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doc Hack is a media
Yeah.
project. In fact, Doc Hack is one of the first
Did you hear-
multimedia project.
I don't know. Did we? I don't think we have it. We don't even have it on our list of industry news to talk about.
What?
Oh well,
Did I miss it?
you might have. But speaking of dot hack,
Mhm.
I mean, I mean, maybe we can talk about it. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure CyberConnect 2 have announced that they're working on a new multimedia project for dot hack. Pretty sure I saw that little bit of news here pretty recently. We don't really have a whole lot of information about it
Oh.
otherwise, but it was announced. So, you know, because like at first there was the Project Dot Hack, which included the first few Dot Hack games, IMOQ, the Infection, Mutation, Outbreak, and Quarantine. Then there was Dot Hack Conglomerate, which was the multimedia project that included the anime Dot Hack GU and the GU games, and yeah. So
Okay,
yeah.
I know why I didn't add it in now.
Why is that?
Because it wasn't a confirmation. It's speculation.
Was it really? Ugh.
Okay,
because I saw a headline and I was like, oh, I'd like to talk about that on HitPoint, but maybe not.
Yes, it is a let's see, important update, not confirmation. New Dot Hack project announced by CyberConnect 2 CEO. This was from Noisy Pixel 7 days ago.
Yeah.
After feedback and rewatching exchange multiple times in 0.5 speed, it turns out the statement seemingly confirming a new Dot Hack project in development was actually a joke by CyberConnect CEO Hiroshi Matsuyama. Yeah, so there you go. But
Well,
I mean, it could
darn.
be like
At least we were able to you know, disambiguate that, I guess, huh?
yeah. I wouldn't write it off completely just because. I mean, it could be like a
Maybe it's
joke, but not joke, but like it's also not like a confirmation.
Yeah, he was joking
So,
about
yeah.
it, but not. It wasn't a joke, but they were joking about it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Is another way of saying it.
Yeah, so but you know, because it wasn't a confirmation, I kind of skimmed through and I just kept going. It was
Okay.
like 2 weeks worth of like news items that I had to go through. So
Okay.
unfortunately, yeah. Well, you know, he's gonna joke about it again in the 1st of April, and then in 2 months he'll be like, just kidding.
I was gonna, yeah.
There it is.
Oh man, remember when Yakuza being turn-based was a joke?
Yeah, and then here we are, right? So, you know, some jokes become reality, some
Yeah.
jokes
The
don't.
funniest jokes tell us the
Yeah.
truth sometimes, right?
Yeah. Well, the fun part of it all is trying to figure out which one will be real and which one aren't, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if you want a new dot hack, make sure you go shame them on Twitter.
Yes. Always shame people on Twitter.
That's basically what Twitter is for. It's the
Right.
the social shaming platform. Now, before we actually do dive into industry news proper, there is one more thing that I wanted to talk about that the Baku wasn't super set on talking about, but I'm like, you know what, we really probably should, because, you know, for one, it's Persona 5, right? It's Atlas, it's Persona. It's a new trailer, and this is, I just want to show you this. I had no context as for what this was, so let's just watch the trailer together, because I want y'all to see. Basically, this is what I first saw when, okay, Perfect World Games, Sega, what is this? Because I saw a trailer, I saw a thumbnail on YouTube, and I was like, what is this? What is going on?
A new Persona project? What?
Because there was no English, no subtitles.
Oh, that's right. You have no idea what they're saying.
Oh yeah, no idea what they're saying whatsoever. but I was like, oh, this has got people
Welcome.
interested. It has me interested, you know?
See the place you're at right now.
The Velvet
It's
Room.
called the Velvet Room. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I knew that part. And that's Igor. So it's from Black
I'm
Wings
fine, I
Game
can
Studio.
still go.
Look at
Yes.
this. Is this okay? I'll go ahead and break the suspense for anybody who didn't already. Whoa, my bad.
They're
I'll break
speaking
the
in
suspense.
Japanese, but it's written in Chinese, and it's just like drive me crazy because
It's
I
breaking your
understand
brain.
both. Yes.
So I'll
It's
break the suspense for anybody
aggravating.
who's really excited all of a sudden. It's a mobile game. So what we're looking at is a game that, you know, we don't really know a whole lot about it just yet. I think that they're going to start playtesting it here pretty soon. But can you believe that this is what mobile games look like now?
Oh yeah, absolutely can. Have you not seen Genshin Impact?
I've been doing my best to not look at Genshin Impact.
I look at Genshin Impact and I laugh all the time, and I've told you guys why. It's because all the Japanese developer loathes Genshin Impact because
Really?
they couldn't do it themselves. So they're just mad, man. They are
Yeah.
so jealous.
Because
of
Genshin Impact is just eating their lunch, huh?
Woo! Oh yeah, and that is a huge lunch.
Yeah. Well, this is a turn-based RPG, not an action RPG. This is a turn-based RPG that is based on, you know, Persona 5, all new characters, and features gorgeous graphics, you know? Like, that looks as good as the PS3 version of Persona 5, at least, I'd say. Yeah. Brand new set of Phantom Thieves. Apparently it's going to be focusing on the theme of desire, which might, we don't know if this is gacha or not, but I would say that theme of desire would probably fit pretty well with a gacha.
Yeah, I could imagine them. I mean, turning Persona into a gacha game would be pretty easy if you really think about it.
The various personas that you'd switch between, for sure.
I
Easy.
mean, yeah, you get duplicates and then you fuse them and then you turn
Oh
them
my
into
God.
new personas. Like, yeah, this is perfect for a gacha game.
It actually would be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, when you were playing Persona 3, you would get cards, and that's how you would get personas randomly through a lucky dip, right? But what if you had to pay for the cards? So
Exactly.
so that, I don't know. It could be good. It could suck. It could be a cash grab. But what I will say is that at the very least, this is being developed by a separate team, which might be good because it means that the Persona team is, at the very least, not going to be slowed down by this game's production, you know?
At least not by a lot.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
And also, this is really good because, as Baku and I have noted a few times in the past, we've got some viewers down in like South America and other locations that just can't easily acquire consoles or nice computers to play these games on. And mobile is kind of an only choice for a lot of people. So this is great for if you are okay with gacha mechanics. Actually, and again, we don't know if there's gacha or not here. But if there is, you know, and if you're okay with gacha, then this could be a fun way to experience some of that Persona flavor, right?
Yes.
So I'm kind of actually interested, and I might actually play this thing. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know. I know. I know what you mean. Enough said. Enough said. I already feel the shame of having said that.
I've said nothing. I just made sound. Shaming sound.
You don't need to verbalize that. I speak shame. I feel it already. Cause that's what cause like part of my brain's like, that looks good. And the other part of my brain making that exact sound.
Okay, so further elaboration. So it is a free-to-play title with in-app purchases, whatever that means. It is being developed officially for iOS and Android. However, the play testing is going to be available for PC, which is kind of
Really?
weird.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like, so one would assume that there would be a PC version. It's just for whatever reason they haven't announced a PC version. So there's that. But we can speculate that there's probably going to be a PC version. It just makes sense. It's probably going to be like Genshin Impact. You can play on PC, you can play on tablets, you can play on your phone. You can multiplay. Probably going to be something like that.
Randomly done. Here's what it could be. It could be gacha with randomly generated dungeons like Tartarus going through mementos. I think mementos is one of the things that they showed off. It could be a lot of that, and it could still be kind of fun. I just hope that it's not one of those things that just goes on forever. I mean, maybe it does though.
But
can you expect a defined ending?
virtue,
I don't know.
by virtue of it being a gacha game, there's no ending until they close the thing.
Yeah,
that's
true. But
yeah, that's just how it is. Playtesting starts on the 29th, but only in China, which is, again, this is a very bizarre thing. It's like they're speaking full Japanese. It's all written Chinese. Playtesting starts in China. This game is not available anywhere else. There's no announcement of it. I mean, could it be available later? Maybe, but at least in present time, it's only announced for China.
Okay.
So
that's
again,
another reason
pretty
we wouldn't
weird
normally
move.
talk about this, right?
Yeah, that's the reason why we don't normally talk about it, but we
But I
do
had
because
to.
it's Persona.
I had to. There was no way I could not talk about it. So cool.
Okay, so while we're talking about this, right? Because I didn't write this in, but did you hear about the same symbiogenesis thing?
Symbiogenesis, the NFT thing.
Yeah, they had a teaser site, and it's already the equivalent of being Metacritic bombed in the comments. The video, so basically, Square Enix released the video on Symbiogenesis, the NFT game.
Yeah.
And the comment section is wild. It says, I think the most liked comment says something along the lines of, "Oh, well, no one's disliking this, so clearly, we all like this idea, right? Like we all think this is fine." That's because they disabled the dislike button.
Interesting. So one of the other things about this that we do know, though, so we know the Symbiogenesis it's not just a set of NFTs that they're selling, but it is an NFT integrated game.
Metaverse, Derek.
Like,
Metaverse,
as in Facebook's Metaverse.
No, it's in like Metaverse.
No. What do you mean?
I don't know. The
concept Metaverse or the trademarked Metaverse?
The concept Metaverse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's I feel like that's a defining thing. Like, I don't want to sign up for like Facebook's BS Metaverse. Like,
yeah, no.
I'm okay with a Metaverse, but not Facebook's Metaverse.
This conceptual Metaverse, not Metaverse with a capital M.
Yeah.
Because that's Facebook.
Because I don't know. I'm not going to be an early adopter of that sort of thing, but I'm curious to see what they can do with it. But it sucks that it has. I don't know. We'll see.
I've thought about every conceivable way. Well, not every conceivable, but every conceivable way that I could imagine what NFT gaming looks like, and I cannot think of a useful scenario where NFT makes sense that you couldn't do with a traditional database.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just like there's nothing about NFT that makes it better.
I'll tell you two examples of a way in which or of fictional examples in way that might be functional. So think of it. Have you ever seen the movie or read the book series Ready Player One?
No.
Okay. So that's one scenario. Or have you read or watched Sword Art Online, where like items from games can like switch over with your character? Like, I feel like these are instances in which that sort of functionality exists, and I feel like the only way to make sure that your property can go with you digitally as if it is independent of the games themselves, but the games have to support that. And I think that this is sort of like in a NFT. I don't know. It doesn't have to be, but it could be
that's exactly what I
framework.
mean. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I mean, which is why I preface to say I can't think of a useful scenario
Mhm.
that we couldn't do with a traditional database.
But then whose database? And are the databases going to be integrated with one another, or are there going to be some like different ecosystems that don't interconnect? I feel like
Well, see,
this
I
one
can't-
is kind of
I
like an
can't-
impartial third party sort of database that could work, but I don't know.
I can't see other companies playing ball. Like, can you
Yeah.
imagine Nintendo going like, yeah, sure, Square Enix, we'll allow your items to come here to our game, even though I mean, it could
I
be
mean,
like a Kingdom
cosmetic
Hearts
items
thing,
probably.
but I mean, yeah, but I don't see them having an incentive to let that happen. And we're talking about like Konami going like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, sure, Square Enix, why don't we just do what you do? Like, what? No, why would they accept them as a standard, right?
Mhm.
Now, if it's between games within their own company, well then it would just be your own internal database.
Here's
What do you
probably
need
why.
this
If
for?
you had a bunch of developers making NFT integrated games, and this is a
Mhm.
big if,
Mhm.
and you were a person who played those games and
Mhm.
you had NFTs that you liked to use within games, would you go to somebody's game and start playing it if your NFTs would not be usable? Like if
I
you want to
mean,
have a successful game as a
I
developer,
kind of already play games from different places
sure,
that
sure.
aren't.
But
Yeah,
if
so
if you were one of these people, like put yourself in the shoes of somebody who's like, all right, this is a thing that exists. There are some indie games that have been doing this, and I
Mhm.
wanted to bring my the things that I have with me, and I'm looking at other games. Well, this game exists and it belongs to Konami, but they don't allow me to bring my own NFTs. I have to use their NFTs, right?
Mhm.
Do I still want to bring my stuff with me to that, or am I just going to say, screw you, Konami? I'm just going to keep playing the games I already am that are open.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
if the game is fun, I'll play the game because it's fun, not because of what baggage I can bring. And
That's
I
probably
mean,
true.
yeah, and also like at some point you're
Mhm.
gonna have some kind of like power creeping issue, won't you? Like
Assuming
I've
that
been
they're
playing
tied to
games.
stats, I mean, they might just be cosmetic items, right?
Yeah,
You,
yeah,
who knows? But I
yeah.
don't know because I'm not from the future, and I don't know if they are the future. They're probably not.
Yeah.
Take all of what I'm saying here as just cautious optimism, but I'm also not counting on it. Like I feel
Yeah.
like there are ways it could be done, maybe that could be neat if
Mhm.
everything is done perfectly and things go well. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think there's going to be a lot of broken eggs and very few omelets by the end. That's
Well,
my guess.
I wasn't gonna talk about this, but since we're talking about the metaverse and what have you, I guess we're moving into industry news. So I'll
Oh,
just
sure.
cover this. I'll just cover this as like an extra topic, industry news that I didn't plan on talking about. But since we're talking about something similar, Hajime Hajime Tabata, which some of you guys may know as one of the producers who worked or one of the directors who's worked over at Square Enix. He is now talking about the metaverse again, and that he is going to work on this thing called Project Ryugukoku, which is it says the nomadic Ryugukoku lifestyle, whatever that means. And it's TBD, it could change. There's a metaverse project, and it's something like wanting different projects to coexist in creating a new generation of RPG in a metaverse. There's all these like keywords and terms and not catchphrases, but
Buzzwords.
buzzwords. Thank you. So all these buzzwords, nothing's concrete about it, which is the reason why I didn't like feel like writing a thing for it. But it's a thing that they're trying to push for, and they're basically welcoming multiple companies to get in on it, right? And it's an interesting thing. Several major Japanese corporations, including Mitsubishi and Fujitsu, have announced late February 2023 that they would create an open metaverse infrastructure from a role-playing game perspective. Mitsubishi, not exactly a game developer, and
Yeah.
Fujitsu again, but since you're talking about it, it's all this is so. I guess the takeaway from this, not necessarily about this whole project or what Square Enix is trying to do, but it could be something larger that they are trying to develop with multiple companies playing in. So to your point, like, could I possibly move things around? But I don't have a lot of hope in this being like a thing that people actually want.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I think that there are some circles in which it is very much still something that people want. You know, I feel like a lot of that is, you know, we probably know them right now mostly as like crypto bros, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, they are still people that exist. That is a market for sure. And it
Yeah,
is a
that's
market that
true.
is apparently fine with spending money, which makes them, you know, probably one worth, you know, catering to, right? Maybe. I mean, maybe they used to have money. Sorry.
Yes.
Too soon.
Wow.
I mean-
Ouch. Ooh. That's
No,
just
but
punching them
seriously.
where it hurts.
Well, I mean, anyways, so we can go ahead and move along to the next section here of our industry
Yes.
news.
Actual
and-
industry news.
Yeah, MegaMan NT Warrior for free. Capcom have announced starting on the 21st, we will be able to watch MegaMan NT Warrior for free. Although we're not really sure how or where,
Yeah.
and only
it's
2
just
seasons.
Very
but it's free.
strange.
But it's free. Free.
You know, it's the 19th. It's like they have 2 days before this.
Where is it coming out? Is it? It's going to be hosted on MegaManNTWarrior.com. Maybe I don't think so. Don't go there. It's probably
Well,
viruses.
I figure YouTube would be a good place to host it, right?
Yeah, you don't even have to pay for it then.
Yeah, Bandai Namco already hosts what is it, Tales of Symphonia. I mean, they're doing the same thing. Bandai Namco, you can watch Tales of Symphonia, and I don't see why Capcom can't do that.
Yeah, that's true. Why
Yeah.
not? Let's do it.
We'll see what happens, man. We'll see. We'll let you guys know if we hear like exactly where they're showing this, but they will. So apparently there are 5 different seasons of NT Warrior.
Okay.
I don't know if we had all of them in the West. I think that's probably the reason why. I think we only got 2 seasons translated and voiced, so that's why we're only getting 2 seasons. I don't know.
Okay.
Because I never watched Mega Man NT Warrior. I just know that they're saying only 2 seasons, only the first 2 seasons. So, for what it's worth. But hey, look, free's free. And each
Yeah.
season is like 50 plus episodes. So, it's not like a wimpy 12 episode, season.
That's a
No,
lot.
we're talking about like 100 plus episodes together. So, it'll take some time.
This kind of reminds me of the early days of YouTube. Do you remember the early days of YouTube?
Vaguely.
The
Long form content.
Oh no. Early days of YouTube was like you couldn't upload anything over 10 minutes. It was all
not long
in,
form.
It was all in like 360p or
Short form.
or 144p even. Like it was tiny. And it was full. Oh, YouTube doesn't talk about this at all ever, but it was full, chock full of old episodes of like anime and cartoons. It was basically where you would go to dick around at work all day watching episodes of like Salute Your Shorts and rips of like TV shows that from your childhood, and they were all in SD, standard definition resolution. That's what YouTube really was back before, in the before days. And then once YouTube started getting really popular, that's when people started noticing.
Well,
hey,
it was the Wild Wild West of
this is a
videos.
piracy website.
Then they're
man.
like, "Oh crap, we gotta get our acts together before we get sued." And then,
Oh man,
the rest is history.
yeah, that's when they finally implemented some stuff. But man, I watched The Adventures of Tintin when I was like 24, and I was like working out of a no, it was younger than 24. It was anyways, I watched all kinds of stupid stuff on YouTube back in the day. and now they had to take it all down, but look what's happening. Now people are like, "Hey, let's put our stuff up for free on YouTube."
Yeah, but from the rights holder this time, right?
Yeah. But it's
I'm
kind
all
of
for
funny
it.
how we're coming full circle, and I just wanted
We
to
are
kind
coming full circle.
of bring
yes.
that back. I wanted to bring that back around. That's
Coming
cool.
full circle. Well, they allow them to monetize, so I'd say why not?
Yeah, may as well.
Yeah, you must well. I mean, what are you just going to
They'll probably
collect dust?
Yeah, they'd probably get more money from YouTube ad revenue. Like, God, they could chuck that full of ad revenue. Actually, no, never mind. I was gonna say they could get more money from that, but they'd probably get more money from YouTube Red or YouTube Premium subscriptions.
Here's the thing. I wonder if that's going to be the future.
Paid YouTube.
No. Okay, so
people just everything's released on YouTube.
Okay, so let's say that I am the rights holder to give me an anime, any anime, TV.
Trails of Cold Steel anime, Northern War or whatever.
Sure. Let's say that I'm Falcom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love your work, man. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Oh, it's good to have you here.
Thank you. Nayuta is great. I know. And East 5, we don't talk about East 5. So let's say I'm Falcom. Okay. I have Tatsunoko make the new anime, right? But I fund it. I'm the IP holder. I own the rights to it. I sell it to I sell the distribution right. Oh, not the distribution right, but the broadcasting rights to different TV companies for TV anime, and I also sell that overseas to say Crunchyroll or like a High Dive, right?
Yeah.
But that could be like a limited amount of time while the anime is still relevant, right?
Yeah.
And they may pay more money for it. But what happens after it stopped being relevant? Like, could I not just take that and then put it into Falcom YouTube website and just be like, okay, I'm just going to collect ads now from this.
Yeah, for all of their dormant IPs.
Yeah. Like, what if that's better money than keeping it on any particular site? And, once it stops being relevant, the Crunchyroll might not even care anymore. It's like, yeah, no one's really searching for it other than like the really hardcore fans anyway.
Yeah.
So they don't really have an incentive to keep paying you money to keep it. Other companies like Netflix or whatever, they don't really care either.
Yeah.
So put it on YouTube. Yeah.
It's a sweet deal, honestly.
Yeah.
Unlimited hosting for and ad revenue based off of your content. Like, it seems like a win-win. You never know.
Yeah, I'm not selling Blu-rays of this thing anymore. A perfect example would be the old Trails in the Sky anime.
Oh yeah.
No one's buying the DVD anymore. Like no one's really buying that thing. It's just put it on YouTube.
They might be on YouTube actually. It's just that they're not the ones getting the ad revenue from it.
Right, but imagine if you could.
Yeah. Well, they can actually. They can just copyright claim it.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
If I was Falcom, I'd put that sucker on. Providing that there's no like legal, things in the middle that's stopping me from doing it.
Oh, well,
I definitely put it. Yeah, and then I would tell people about it, and then people will watch it, and they'll watch it for however long, and they will, they will pay some ads, and I'll collect however much I can indefinitely. Yeah, why not? All right.
Were we talking about what were we talking about? Oh yeah, that was MegaMan.
Yes, that was MegaMan. So speaking of anime, let's dive back with some bad news.
Okay.
Bad news. I know. Only for Nier fans though.
Okay.
See, Nier Automata version 1.1a, the anime. Yeah, it's delayed again, and it's also because of COVID-19. Yeah.
Okay.
It's that darn COVID again. So they're stuck at episode 8. They can't release episode 9. There's the delay indefinitely again. It was delayed once before for the exact same reason, and they had only resumed normal airing for like the last month. So now they
Jeez.
are delayed again. Yeah, I mean, look,
I
safety.
mean, it's gonna
and-
happen, you know, but
Yeah, like health and safety of the staff first and foremost. So I'm not mad at it, but it's just bad news. That's
Yeah,
all. Yeah,
yeah.
no, not angry news, just bad news.
yeah, that's
Hopefully
good
they,
distinction.
yeah, hopefully they recover soon and they're able to start airing that anime again. But for now, for us fans, you're just gonna have to wait a bit.
All right. Well, we have one more bit of news, anime related, before we start diving into some of these. Oh my God, how many super chats have we got?
We've
Okay.
got quite a few. I keep
Jeez, okay,
seeing them
I
pop
know.
up. So,
We're going to respond to those super chats here after we talk about a new announcement hot off the presses. Gust have announced an anime adaptation for Atelier Ryza. Ever Darkness and the Secret Hideout is currently in development by Lydon Films and will be released sometime this year. And we have a trailer for it that I don't know if I could show it or not, but
no singing, but I don't know if it gets you. So
okay,
yeah,
let's
I
try
left it there.
we'll try it. We'll try it. Okay, here, let's.
I left it there.
If I get bad vibes from this, then
23 summertime.
okay.
So
Cool.
the article that I read says sometime 2023. The
But that's
trailer
a
says
summer.
summertime.
Summertime.
Yeah, but that could be just in Japan. We don't know what that looks like, internationally. So there's that.
Wow. Yeah, that. I mean, animation wise, the quality
Thighs,
looks.
shut up.
The
They
quality.
say thighs.
The quality of the animation looked pretty darn good. I feel like it seems like they took a lot more time with some sections of the drawings than others, but otherwise, I don't know.
Thighs.
So yeah, that's that's our industry news for the day. Very interested in a lot of that stuff. So it's time to switch sections to our next, which is responding to super chats and our outro.
my favorite part of the show. Yes.
Yeah, finally getting to. It's so hard to ignore like what's going on in chat. Sometimes we don't want to ignore you, but for everybody who's
We're,
like, hey,
we're not ignoring you at all.
Yeah,
Yeah. We have a
yeah.
dedicated time to talk about everything.
exactly, we have
Yes.
so much, but this is the time when we got to finally break that and start responding. So starting with this one from Still Alive, who says, "What video game music pieces have you two been hooked on lately?" Or the last one that made you put it on repeat because it was so good or catchy.
You want rock paper scissors? Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, I will say that most recently during my art streams, I've been listening to a lot of the Trails from Zero Trails to Azure soundtracks, both of them, and even the Sky soundtracks. And it's been occurring to me lately, just like how much the Whereabouts of Light is especially like a thematic like leitmotif within the original Sky series. It's just so good. And so that's been kind of like a lot of what's been on my repeat at the moment, but I feel like nothing has really sunk its teeth into me as much as the original release of Persona 5. Like that music has defined a lot of my musical tastes lately. I mean like ever since it came out, I'm like, oh man, I'm diving into jazz music and just kind of like looking around for more stuff. So and now that I've been playing through Yakuza Like a Dragon, you can collect some tracks straight from Persona 5. And when you can play them when you're in a bar, and I've been doing that lately. So yeah, it's just that soundtrack.
Until you start singing Bakamita, you haven't hit peak Yakuza yet. So we're waiting for a Derek Bakamita karaoke stream.
I don't know what this Baku Mai Tai is all about. You keep talking about, but it sounds delicious. But no, I have done the karaoke and the bar.
Oh, you've done the karaoke,
and we've seen somebody sing it, and it was okay. I liked it, but I need to hear it a few more times before I could ever get close to actually singing it.
Well, you guys know what you need to do. hit the Twitter, shame the Derek.
Yeah, maybe we'll make it a sub goal or something.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a singing Bakamita, yes.
Baku Mai Tai.
Baku Mai Tai.
Tasty.
All right. For me, the games that I've been playing lately, I mean they're nice, but I haven't had an urge to like put them in my phone or put it on my car, for example, and just put it on repeat.
Mhm.
I think the last soundtrack that really did that for me was Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I really enjoyed Xenoblade Chronicles 2 music. All the different pieces were very well suited for the scenes, but also really nice to listen to on their own. So,
Yeah.
and also like the date night variations, like you can feel the difference. It's like, I don't know how to put it. It's just really well done. The other one being Octopath Traveler. So I'm really looking
Yeah.
forward to Octopath Traveler 2 because Octopath Traveler 1 music was just like chef's kiss.
You're right.
It was beautiful.
When I played through the demo of Octopath Traveler 2, the music instantly transported me back to the first time I was playing Octopath
Oh
1.
really?
And it,
Ooh.
oh my God. I was right after playing the demo, I was right back in it. I was like, all right, time to Octopath 2. Like I could do this right now. I'd drop everything if I could, but
did you remember playing so you played the first one. Did you
Mhm.
beat the final boss?
yeah.
You did, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
that theme from that final boss with that like kind of opera-ish. Yeah, oh, it's just so good. And like
if
the
you
two
don't have
phases
opera, if you don't
Yeah.
have opera tied into your final boss theme, like
you're not doing it right.
are you even fighting a real final boss in any way?
I like how like the two forms have like it's the same composition, but like it's two completely different songs
Yeah.
for the two phases that you fight in that final boss. It's beautiful.
Let's see. Next up, we got this comment from Bring Back Fluffy Dogs who says,
Hey,
I'll only accept Xenogears remaster if they go back and actually finish the game.
I would love to see them finish the game.
You know, I got a little bit of pushback from when I was saying in my review of it that it was the best game never made. But I stand by that it does deserve to be fully fleshed out. And some people, super fans of it, do push back. Some super fans get really heated and they say it's perfect. Do not insult the game. It is immaculately conceived. You may not say bad things about the game. No, Disc 2 is perfect. How could you possibly have a problem with Disc 2? You uncultured swine.
How dare you have an opinion that's different from my own?
I am only exaggerating slightly. The slightest bit. but man, there are some people who will defend that game. Like they are looking for that hill so they can die on it. Like they are eager to die on that hill.
I'm pretty sure even like the creators were like, yeah, we couldn't finish that game.
Oh, I know. It's like it's not it deserves to be finished.
Yeah.
It deserves to be finished. And that's all I'm trying to say here. I agree, Fluffy Dogs. I agree. And speaking of going hard, Fluffy Dog says, speaking of going hard, when can we expect Trails in the Sky on Switch or the entire series? Well,
Trails in the Sky?
Trails in the Sky. They want it on Switch, you know? And
that would be nice.
It would be really nice. Here's the problem. Here's the problem, and here's why Sky or Cold Steel isn't on Switch either. Well, not in the West, anyways. Which is also, by the way, Poson Theory says, when are Cold Steel 1 and 2 getting localized on Switch? Here's so we'll double tackle this one. So Falcom right now is working with NISA for localizing all their new stuff. However, Xseed still has all of the rights to localize the previous games in the series, including, and when I say previous games, I mean previous chronologically in order of Western release, which means anything prior to Cold Steel 3, that falls under the purview of Xseed. So Cold Steel 1 and 2, Xseed has the localization rights for a Western release, and apparently they're not too concerned about doing that right now. And Nisa kind of also can't touch the Sky series in the West until Xseed relinquishes that right as well. Now,
Unless it's a time thing.
yeah, it's also a time thing. I think though that might not extend to so Nisa might be able to localize Sky 1 through 3 if they got remade or republished, maybe. I think. But as of right now, that's not the case. And that's what we're kind of waiting on. And it's just kind of stuck in this limbo. And I'm really hoping that they could all be released on Switch here in the West. But I don't foresee Xseed and Nisa playing nice with one another at this point. And I don't know. I don't know how long that contract is for.
We don't see a path forward.
Not currently. But that's kind of like the twofer responding to Fluffy Dogs and Pause on Theory. I hope I'm getting that name correct, by the way. So
Gotcha.
Now here's another one from Bring Back Fluffy Dogs, who says, Capcom, we need to talk to you about bringing another beloved remake and remaster of one of your fan favorite IPs. Please stop ignoring Breath of Fire. I agree.
They added it in their survey. I mean, that's all we can give them credit for, is the fact that they had it in the survey. That's it.
That's Capcom's way of saying, we remember this still exists. That's it. That's all we get. But
we remember it fondly.
Breath of Fire's like, hey, or Capcom's like, hey, remember that time we made Breath of Fire? And we're all like, yeah,
good times.
Yeah. And they're like, that's it.
Oh boy.
That's it. They just nod. Okay. We have another super chat here from Module Cell, who says, with the misstep of Forspoken, an Eastern developer telling a Western story and theme, barring Sucker Punch's game of GOT, Game of Thrones? GOT? Sucker Punch's GOT. Has there been a successful Western developer telling an Eastern story and theme, RPG or otherwise? Sucker Punch's
Eastern story? You mean like Ghost of Tsushima?
Oh, Ghost of Tsushima. That's probably it. Sucker Punch's Ghost of Tsushima. Okay, thank you. Sorry, when I saw GOT.
So barring that one.
Yeah, okay. So yeah.
Sorry, that was the first thing I thought of.
Barring Ghosts of Tsushima, has there been a successful Western dev telling an Eastern story and theme?
Okay, so let me let me say this first. Like first, I don't think that Forspoken is necessarily a Western story. It's a fantasy story, which is very different than to say a Western story. And by Western, I obviously don't mean like cowboys and such, because that's a different kind of Western. So yes, the main character comes from New York, comes from Brooklyn. I get that, but she's transported into a fantasy world. If we change the art up into something like, animated, right? Does that suddenly change the story? No, because the story is consistent. Would I call, for example, Star Arts Online a Western story? No, but they got like swords and magics and stuff, right? Is that what makes it Western? Like, how about
typical Eastern or Eastern or Western European style, like medieval fantasy settings?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't even think it's that. I think it's just like fantasy, like just like. But that's how I think of it. I think a more Western fantasy would be like if there's like actual like knights and like and that sort of thing. Maybe yeah, I would think like you would have like knights and such. Like to what point do you call it like a Western fantasy? I don't know. To me, it's just like fantasy is fantasy. Um,
It's a
that's
good question
kind
though,
of
because I
how
can
I
think of
feel
a lot of
about it.
I can think of a lot of opposite, opposing like flipped scenarios of, Japanese and Eastern developers telling Western style like or doing Western style stories like Dragon's Dogma, for instance. I feel like it's
Yeah.
kind of Western inspired at the very least.
What
Or
is it? Like Skyrim or like
Mhm.
I don't know. No, what is it called? Dragon Age,
The one that they collaborated with George R.R. Martin on, Elden Ring.
Elden
I'd
Ring.
say
Yeah.
that's pretty definitively Western
Mm,
story because it's written by a Western dude.
no, it's not much as that. Yeah,
But
I don't know. I'm not, and I'm like not big into like reading fantasy and stuff. So just like this is just like uh, from a very layman perspective, right? So
Mhm.
don't quote me like I'm some kind of literary expert. Absolute farthest thing from it.
Is that
Um,
you're not getting your master's in literary?
it's a waifuology, you know, that's a
Okay.
very different discipline
Okay.
altogether. Like,
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, no, I okay. So yeah, I mean, but back to the question, can we think of an example of a Western developer telling a Eastern like story?
Someone in chat has mentioned Avatar: The Last Airbender as a potential option.
Yeah.
Is that Eastern? It's hard to say.
Vaguely, I guess. Like, hmm.
Jackie Chan
Maybe.
Adventures, the video game.
Uh,
I don't- Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda. Yeah, let's.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's what we'll
sure.
just do. A bunch of media tie-ins with vaguely Eastern inspired. Oh yeah, yeah, like the Ninja Turtles video games that they take
I
place in New York, but they feature people doing martial arts. I don't know.
I don't think, and it's not so much that they can't do it. It's just that Western developers don't exactly have an appetite to try to tell a Eastern story.
Hmm.
For I think for two very specific reasons. One is the lack of understanding. And so what they could end up creating is just something that's very superficial, which can get them into trouble.
Yeah, I'd say that there's
Uh,
probably some reluctance too because of uh, our value of trying to represent people well. When we do
yes.
it, we
And
don't
that's the second reason.
because like that's the other thing. Like
Yeah.
when like as far as like another medium goes, Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai,
Mhm.
for instance, as like a story being told by Westerners about a Middle East or not a Middle Eastern, but an Eastern setting, like that's got some real um that could ruffle a lot of feathers, and I feel like we wouldn't want a video game version of that. I don't know.
Yeah. There was another thing that was like not exactly memoirs of a geisha.
Oh
That was the thing that like didn't sit well with a lot of people.
yeah.
Just kind of like misrepresenting things. Like the source material wasn't exactly correct, and then the movie made it even worse. So
So I
yeah.
wonder, I wonder
Now,
what the
Ghost of
opposite.
Tsushima, they did extensive research. They sent teams, they talked
Yeah.
to the locals. It's like a huge undertaking that they did.
Hmm.
So you know, it's a little different. Now, I think other companies can do it. And seeing the success of Ghost of Tsushima, I think they have they if they can do it right, you know, and do it right. Like I don't decide what is right. It's more
Hmm.
like you know the collective consciousness decides that it's right or wrong. But if they can do it right, and Ghost of Tsushima certainly did it right because people felt like the respect that went into creating this work, and it was in fact a great game,
Hmm.
not just oh it's culturally accurate therefore good. No, like even if the game wasn't based in Japan, it just played well, right? So
I wonder. I wonder why there are so many good counterexamples of like Japanese developers making kind of Western style stories.
they don't have the same kind of restrictions. Like the two things I just said, they don't have that problem,
Is it because
right?
they just have a better nuanced understanding of Western society than vice versa, or is it just that we care less about how well we're represented? Like Earthbound does not, offend me as an American because like I think it's funny,
Well, it's too, and this is coming from someone who lived in Asia, right? So
Sure.
I think this the 2 points that I brought up, right? One is
Uh-huh.
the lack of understanding, and the other one is just this like kind of very PE kind of like PC kind of thing, not
Sure.
PE, PC kind of thing,
Uh-huh.
right? Well, in Asia, we don't have those issues because number one, we basically gotten like European culture jammed down our throat through like the
Okay, so that's the
you
question.
know
There
so
was some
that's
understanding
one.
of that
Yeah,
culture.
so
Okay.
yeah, but the opposite didn't happen. Like we didn't
Yeah.
come and be like, hey, you're gonna learn this now, right?
Yeah.
So whether or not they're correct, it doesn't much matter too much because there's more base understanding at least.
Mhm.
And two, we don't have this whole PC thing,
Yeah. In
you
Japan,
know.
people aren't necessarily like out there fighting for accurate representation.
Of what Europe looks like in the 18th century, say.
Yeah.
Like they don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they could get away with it by saying that this is a fantasy work. Like this is please make it a fantasy work. Like
That's
don't
yeah.
yeah.
That's a really interesting discussion.
Mhm.
So thank you for that one, Module Cell.
Yeah, thank you.
Bring back Fluffy Dogs again says, Mr. Falcom, can we get the rest of the East games physically on the Switch, please?
You really want those games on the Switch?
All of them. Just
All
a
of them.
big East collection would be pretty sweet, huh?
You know what? By the time that comes out, after the whole thing with what's that company that's holding this Exceed?
Exceed?
After all the Exceed thing
Oh
is
man.
cleared, it's gonna be like Switch 2, probably.
Switch 3 maybe.
Oh, you Switch 3. So no to it being on the Switch, but potentially
the new Super Switch 3D.
yeah, that.
All right. We got another one here from Still Alive who says,
Hey.
second question, are there any RPGs on the 3DS or the Wii U that are eShop only or have DLC that won't be able to be accessed once they close on the 27th?
I've heard that there are, but I don't have a list for you. I think someone might have put something together online, so you can probably find it.
I was going to deliver a definitive.
Oh, you have a definitive answer.
No. It's, I don't know. A very definitive shrug.
Yeah, there are just so many games. There's this one guy. I was gonna put him down as like a thing that we're talking about, but I so it's just like offhand mention. So there's this guy named the Completionist. He went and he bought everything.
Gerard, yeah.
At least he said he bought everything.
Mhm.
And it ran him something like $28,000 US dollars, which is a
Jeez.
lot of money. Good on him in the name of preservation and just in the name of in the name of preservation, right?
Wow.
So good on him. So let's give him props for that.
Wait. So he completed the shop, the
Yes.
Wii U shop, and the
Yes.
3DS shop. Oh my god!
And
I
I think
just realized why.
just sitting there buying the games must have been a pain in the butt. Like,
It sounds
never
like it's
mind how
something
much money he's spending.
That sounds like something completely up his alley.
Just
He
sitting there like,
would do that. Oh my
move
god,
the
Gerard.
game, move the game, move the game, move the game. Cart.
That's pretty incredible. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to well, I assume you would want to download them for preservation purposes.
Some amount of terabytes of data. It was like an insane amount of terabytes that he was downloading.
Can I just say, thank God that he didn't end up buying any that there weren't any gacha games.
Oh, it's just
Imagine trying to get all the DLC for all of the gacha. He'd have tripled his debt and for one game, I'm sure.
oh, easy. You can see people spend that much on like Genshin Impact, I'm sure.
So go
just
support the completionist on YouTube. You know, give him a watch or something with you know,
yes.
with the ad block turned off, because that dude's gonna need. He's such a sweet person. He's such a good, kind-hearted dude. Seriously, go watch one of his videos, because he's gonna need some support to help recoup the
Do it
28,000.
today.
Oh, 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 oh.
Oof,
And
yeah,
and
it's a lot.
maybe check out that video specifically if you're curious about what you need to get before the store closes on the 27th, because I think that'd be a really good resource,
We'll
right?
leave in the description. We'll leave a link in the description.
You bet.
Yep.
All right.
Mhm.
So moving along, we got another one here from Bring Back Fluffy Dogs. Thank you so much. Who
Thank you,
says,
sir.
I'm from the future. The 4
Mhm.
LP set from Breath of Fire Collection Edition is great. I like the OST of Breath of Fire 3 the most. I hope you enjoy yours in the future. Keep up the hope. One day we'll win.
So, future Bring Back Fluffy Dog. Did we get new Breath of Fire games in your future?
So
Yeah,
they have
no?
they've got the 4 LP set, which is interesting because I've got 3. I have 3 that I have to open. They've been delivered. I did not see Breath of Fire 4 on the set though. So maybe I'll have to go check them out and see if they've got a Breath of Fire 4, or maybe it's coming down the line. I don't know. That'd be really
Yes.
great. And then Bring Back Fluffy Dogs with one more says, is the question about setting or style of game? I think this is in reference to the Eastern versus Western developers making. Okay, so Chained Echoes is a great example of a style done tastefully. Ghost of Tsushima is an example of setting. Respect is key.
Yeah, I believe so, and I think look, just based on the question example, I would imagine that the person who asked the question, they're asking about setting
That's
and
kind of-
not style.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes they could be both. But
'Cause it feels
because
like
they
they were-
said Ghost of Tsushima, so
Yeah.
that's setting, not style.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the reason why they wouldn't do it is basically, from my opinion, is those two reasons is why they won't. The
Fear of-
Western developers won't
Fear of
really
PC
do it.
backlash, and then just lack of
Yeah,
full immersion,
Yeah.
understanding of the culture.
yeah, and it's risky, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. Like,
Heck, I
I can,
mean,
yeah,
Assassin's Creed, I think, is a series of games made by Ubisoft, and
Mhm.
they've been doing a lot of research with each of those releases.
Mhm.
Did any of them take place? I know Middle East for sure, and
they did
had.
it. They did one for Egypt, I think.
Mhm. Did they ever do one for like Japan? That's the
Like
question.
East Asia,
I
not
thought
that I know of.
It feels like such an easy home run to do Assassin's Creed with ninjas.
Right.
Like, it seems like such a home run. Like, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want that?
I think they did. Well, not they. But
I would play the
like,
crap out. I would finally play another Assassin's Creed game after Assassin's Creed 3 threw me away from this series. I would
I think
probably.
Wild Heart is probably one that I would say it's like. It's actually Wild Heart's not a Western developer; it's a Western publisher.
Hmm.
Yeah, see, big difference, right?
Oh, someone says that they did a spin-off in China.
Oh, they
Interesting.
did.
I think so. Or is
No
that their
idea.
next game? Let
Yeah,
me
sorry,
look this
I
up.
don't. Yeah, sorry, I do not follow Assassin's Creed as much as I would other game series. I know they've done
Assassin's
like
Creed-
England and Egypt and like Native American lore, kind of.
I found some gameplay.
Oh, you found some gameplay.
Yep.
No.
All right, here, let's pull it up on the trailer here. I don't.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think you can see it.
Oh,
wait, hang on. Here, I know what I can do. I can just add it to our playlist, and then we can watch it together like everything else that we do.
yay!
Yeah. Let's stick to the pattern here. If I can
Mhm.
find it. Okay. All right. Assassin's Creed. Yeah, here's.
No, okay.
Yeah, but look, it's
not Assassin's Creed. It's you know.
Yeah. Somebody just fell to their death. Get good, noob.
It's
Okay.
it's that ninja. It's like that ninja game, but not like it's not an Assassin's Creed proper. If that makes sense.
Right. It's a spin-off or tie-in. I don't know. But anyways, it's called Assassin's Creed Chronicles China gameplay. I guess. I don't know. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't love it. I would have played it if they had made it like, you know, any other Assassin's Creed game, but yeah. Somebody says it's like a original Prince of Persia. Yeah. I never liked the original. I liked the PS2 Prince of Persias. But I don't think that counts.
Yeah. I'm not big on platforms, so I probably wouldn't play that, period. Yeah.
Well, you know what? This has been a very awesome, very long episode of HitPoint tonight.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, man. We saved it up. We finally broke the 2-hour barrier. It's been a little while. So if you like your episodes of the HitPoint podcast particularly long, please be sure to give us a like or a follow or a review on whatever podcasting platform you happen to be enjoying us upon. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. It's been a pleasure to stream for all of you. Baku, have you got any closing thoughts for the people?
Just fingers crossed that P5 won't be a gacha game.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Take care, everybody.
Goodbye.